retaliated, pierced the man's throat, turned slightly and sheared off another's face. They pressed forward, taking the attack to the incensed foe. His left hand covered with his own blood, Moonglum painfully pulled his long poignard from its sheath and held it with his thumb along the handle, blocked an opponent's swing, closed in and killed him with a ripping upward thrust of the dagger, the action of which caused his wounds to pound with agony. Elric held his great rune sword in both hands and swung it in a semicircle, hacking down the howling, misshapen things. Sarrasinia darted towards the horses, leapt onto her own and led the other two towards the fighting men. Elric smoked at another and got into his saddle, thanking his own forethought to leave the equipment on the horses in case of danger. Moonglum quickly joined him and they thundered out of the clearing. "The saddlebags," Moonglum called in greater agony than that created by his wound. "We've left the saddlebags." "What of it? Don't press your luck, my friend." "But all our treasure's in them." Elric laughed, partly in relief, partly from real humour. "We'll retrieve them, friend, never fear." "I know you, Elric, you've no value for the realities." But even Moonglum was laughing as they left the enraged men of Org behind them and slowed to a canter. Elric reached and hugged Sarrasinia. "You have the courage of your noble clan in your veins," he said. "Thank you," she replied, pleased with the compliment. "But we cannot match such swordsmanship as that displayed by you and Moonglum." "It was fantastic." "Thank the blade," he said shortly. "No, I will thank you. I think you place too much reliance upon that hell weapon, however powerful it is." "I need it." "But for what?" "Well, for my own strength, and now to give strength to you." "I'm no vampire," she smiled, "and need no such fearful strength as that supplies." "Well then, be assured that I do," he told her gravely. "You would not love me if the blade did not give me what I need. I am like a spineless sea thing without it." "Well, I do not believe that, but I will not dispute with you now." And they rode for a while without speaking. Later they stopped, dismounted, and Sarrasinia put herbs that Elric had given her upon Moonglum's wounded arm and began to bind it. Elric was thinking deeply. The forest rustled with macabre, sensuous sounds. "We're in the heart of Trews," he said, "and our intention to skirt the forest has been forestalled. I have it in mind to call on the King of Org and so round off our visit." Moonglum laughed. "Shall we send our swords along first and bind our own hands?" His pain was already eased by the herbs which were having quick effect. "I mean it. We owe, all of us, much to the men of Org. They slew Sarrasinia's uncle and cousins. They wounded you, and now they have our treasure. We have many reasons for asking the king for recompense. Also, they seem stupid, should be easy to trick. Aye, the king will pay us back for our lack of common sense by tearing our limbs off. I'm in earnest, I think we should go. I'll agree that I'd like our wealth returned to us, but we cannot risk the lady's safety, Elric." "I am to be Elric's wife, Moonglum. Therefore, if he visits the King of Org, I shall come too." Moonglum lifted an eyebrow. "A quick courtship?" She speaks the truth, however. We shall all go to Org, and sorcery will protect us from the king's uncalled-for wrath." "And still you wish for death and vengeance, Elric," shrugged Moonglum, mounting. "Well, it's all the same to me, since your roads, whatever else, are profitable ones. You may be the lord of bad luck by your own reckoning, but you bring good luck to me, I'll say that." "No more courting death," smiled Elric, "but we'll have some revenge, I hope." "Well, dawn will be with us soon," Moonglum said. "The Orgian citadel lies 6 hours' ride from here by my working, south-southeast by the ancient star, if the map I memorized in Nadsakor was correct." You have an instinct for direction that never fails, Moonglum. Every caravan should have such a man as you. We base an entire philosophy on the stars in Elfware, Moonglum replied. We regard them as the master plan for everything that happens on Earth. As they revolve around the planet, they see all things, past, present, and future. They are our gods. Predictable gods, at least, said Elric, and they rode off towards Aurug with light hearts, considering the enormity of their risk.